Hey guys, Ruminating Reaper here. So, it's Halloween. Well, when this video goes out, it will be Halloween. You know, you're watching this right now, yeah, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, by the way. I hope you're enjoying the festivities. Now it's obviously it's been Halloween. It's time to round off the horror movie review series for this year, and I figured, why not round it off with a classic? So, I've just got done watching Poltergeist, the original film, obviously. So, you know, obviously, one last horror film before Halloween, make it a classic, round it off in style. But has it held up well as a horror film? Have its scares aged well? Let's find out. So, Poltergeist follows a suburban family, fairly ordinary family, mom, dad, three kids, dog, and they live their fairly ordinary lives until one night their youngest daughter, Carol Ann, makes communications with spectral forces from within their TV, and from there they enter the house, and and it starts off innocently enough, chairs moving about, until you know Carol Ann is taken by these forces, and the family have to fight their way through all manner of horrors to rescue her. So, premise like that, just a simple, fun spin on like a haunted house sort of film, you know. The film does make a point of, describing, this is not a haunting, this is a poltergeist, you know. From there you can roll the credits. And honestly, I really enjoyed it, I had a super fun time with it, it's a simple premise executed in a very fun manner. I don't necessarily know how scary I'd call it, because I'm not someone that's easily scared by stuff in horror films, but I did have a super fun time watching all the sort of scares unfold. There's a really clever one early on involving like a tree. There's a really fun sequence involving a paranormal investigator having a disturbing hallucination involving them peeling their own face off. The practical effects in that scene were done extremely well. There's even things falling through the ceiling, and and there's a particular room which the poltergeist inhabits, and there's all manner of stuff flying around, like lamps, bedside cabinets, beds. It's all spinning around. It's super fun stuff. It's like this is like a theme park haunted house film, and it's just such unashamedly enjoyable fun because of it. Some of the CGI is a bit on the dated side, but as I said earlier, the practical effects are done super well. And also, in regards to the scares, is the central debate, which is at the heart of all discussion about this film. Who directed it? Tobe Hooper or Steven Spielberg? And obviously, Tobe Hooper is credited, obviously, being horror and scares, and obviously he clearly had a real hand in bringing all that to life. But you can also see a sort of Spielbergian feel sort of creep into it. Like, early on there's shots of like the suburban house on the street, which feel like ripped right out of a Spielberg film, like right out of something like E.T., And even the scares have a sort of Spielbergian spectacle to them, and even Jerry Goldsmith's score at times sort of feels like it's invoking something like the John Williams scores to some of Spielberg's films, if that makes any sense. So, really, I'm no closer to actually definitively having a take on the debate, but just of note. However, there is one particular standout sequence near the end of the film, and this is obviously very clearly Tobe Hooper, where it's yes, it's the sequence with the clown, an absolute masterclass in tension building and payoff. Yeah, and it's all down to the fantastic sound design. There's this real stillness to it. There's no music, no sound effects, and it just builds real slowly over about a good few minutes. You know, to give you that real creeping sense of dread that something bad's about to happen, and you're really feeling it, like, oh, and then bam, it hits you. It's a goddamn. So, and the film as well also has really good character development and setup and payoff. Some good sort of Chekhov's gun, like how they set up the clown. Have it look really creepy even even before its big scene. And they develop the family very well. At the start, we spend a bit of time with them. Get little moments of humor, and sort of tell us all a bit about them and what they're afraid of, which is obviously paid off later on in the film when it's the scares. That's done very well, and the acting as well is also super good. Craig T. Nelson, yep, Mr. Incredible, does a very good job as Dad Steven. He does a good job sort of almost underplaying it, almost approaching it from a more rational point of view, but when he's required to show real fear and emotion late on in the film, he does it very well. I also thought Jo Beth Williams as his wife Diane did a really good job. But yeah, very very well selling the fear and paranoia and anxiety of the whole situation. And obviously, some of the younger actors for the kids, the younger actors for the kids, do a good job as well, showing fear. But overall, the acting is very good. And even how they develop the actual poltergeist itself, there's one exposition scene later on sort of reveals, to Carol Ann, this poltergeist is just another child, and it talks to her, like a child would. And I thought that was a really clever and fun spin, and a really neat idea. And even when we see the actual beast itself towards the end, I really liked its design. And even when it lets out its noise, it sounds distinctly like the Metro Goldwyn Mayer lion. That's probably not a coincidence because this is an MGM film, so just bear that one in mind. Overall, Poltergeist is a really fun sort of haunted house horror film. It's maybe not entirely scary, but it's still extremely entertaining. Some slightly dated CGI aside, and it's a very effective blockbuster horror. I had a great fun time watching it, and I'm going to give Poltergeist an 8.5 out of 10. So that's my thoughts on Poltergeist. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen it? What do you think of it? What are your opinions on the remake? And let me know as well whether you think Tobe Hooper directed it or if Steven Spielberg directed it. And let me know what horror films have you watched this Halloween. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.